Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing another time video again this week, and this week is something I've done before actually, except I'm going to do a little twist on it. I'm going to tie it a little bit differently, actually I think a little bit easier, and show a new product we just started carrying in the shop. This is the fly tying kit from Fish-Skulls. This is the Fish-Skull Skulpin Bunny package. And it's a sculpin pattern just like I tied before, but this kit has all the material in it you need to tie 6 of them. And it's at a good price too, so I mean for what you get, it's a great price. Just going to do a little unboxing here, if you will, and we're going to see what's inside the package. So what you get in the package is you're going to get 6 helmets, then, whoops, the eyes for the helmets come with it. And then we're going to get 6 hooks to use on it, and a couple different packs, a couple different pieces of zonker strips. These are just different rabbit cut strips, and well, it looks like one's cross cut for wrapping the body, and the other one is for the back piece here. It's a straight cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the cross cut ones on the body and the straight cut ones on the backs. And in the little pamphlet, it comes with tying instructions on how to tie it yourself. So, you know, you can watch my video or you can use this to do it. So, anyways, it's a really good little pack here. Like I said, all the stuff you need to tie 6 of them. And for the price, it's a lot cheaper than buying all the material separately because, you know, you would have to buy, I forget what it is, like 10 helmets in a pack, and you know, all the things add up when you buy them all separately. So if you're just looking to tie a couple sculpins, downside is you can't tie them all in the same color because you got like black, olive, brown in here. So you're just going to get a mixture of colors, but that's not a bad thing. And anyways, I really like tying these. I've tied a couple already. I've opened it up, used the instructions. I haven't used the pack here, but I used some of the other stuff that I already had on hand just to try the instructions, and I like tying it this way a lot better than the old way I tied it in my video. It's a lot quicker. So anyways guys, here it is. I'm going to get into tying it now, and you're going to see the finished fly and then the material list to tie it. Alright, here you see the fly in the vise. Let's get into tying it. Really cool little sculpin pattern. It's actually pretty simple to tie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hook in the vise here. This hook, it's actually a Kona trout streamer 4 extra long hook. Now it comes with it. We don't sell these in the shop, but this comes with the pack. The way I'm going to tie it is I'm actually going to tie it upside down, and I got a little... I want to turn her down just a little bit more. There we go. So it's a little bit more straight when I flip my vise upside down here. Now you can pretty much tie any color thread you want. I'm just going to put some olive on here. I'm going to get this started. So I'm just going to get that started on there and bring it back towards the bend. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the strips. This is the straight cut strip. It's straight cut. If you look at it, it goes straight off the back. The other one I'm going to show you here in a second is cross cut. All the fibers are going to go down one side. So we're going to take this, cut it in a 2-inch length, and then I'm going to go about halfway, or I'm going to measure. I want it to come right to about where my eye is. So when I do that, I'm going to look on the skin here. So if I put that at my eye, look at the skin, I want to see this point right here, right at the base of the bend of the hook. That's where I'm going to hook this in. So I'm just going to, through the bottom, I'm just going to pop that in there. I'll pull it out of my vise for a second. And I'm just going to fish this the rest of the way through that hook and put it back in my vise. Alright, now I'm going to get it back where I want it here. And I want this to go over the inside of the hook, between the hook, in the hook gap there, okay, as you see there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and separate the feathers right there at that right there at that, underneath the hook point there. And then I'm just going to make a couple wraps and tie this down tight. So I don't want to trap any fibers here. I want to trap as few as possible. And just make sure I get this on there good and tight. And then that'll lay off the back. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap up here in front of it. And I'm going to bring this back out of the way for right now. So I'm just going to put a little bit of thread on here and bring this up about halfway. And this is where I'm going to tie in my cross-cut rabbit strip. Now here you see is my cross-cut strip. And if you look at the bottom of the strip, all of the fibers go in one direction instead of straight off of it. So I'm going to tie this in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and tie it with the skin side facing towards me and all the fibers pointing back towards the bend of the hook. And I'm just going to tie that in about the middle. And then wrap this the rest of the way forward. Alright, now we're just going to palmer this around the hook, making sure all those fibers go backwards. And I'm going to do about 4 or 5 wraps, get me right up there to that eye of the hook right there. And then we're going to tie this off. So I make about 4 or 5 good hard turns there. And I'm going to clean up this head a little bit. Now you can take fluff or brush this out a little bit there if you want to right now, that's fine. Then we're going to take and run this up over the top. We're going to run our straight cut up over the top right to that eye. And we're going to tie it down right behind the eye. This gives a nice two-tone little effect. I really like this way here. It's very simple to tie. And you get that nice two-tone effect. So I'm going to clean up this head. And I'm going to leave my thread on here. And now I'm going to test the fit of my sculpin helmet. So I'm just going to take, you see there's the back side of it here. The big open side. We're going to put that down over the eye of the hook. And push it back on. Okay, and I see I'm getting it, as you see on the eye here. The eye of the hook, it goes back over the eye of the hook. I want to go just a hair further than that. Whoops, not that far. And okay, I want to build up just a little bit because I pushed it back here. So I want something for that helmet to glue onto. And try it one more time here. There we go. That's where I want it. I want it to go back here and glue on. And have something to bridge the gap between the thread and the helmet. So I'm just going to whip finish it off now. Oops. And you don't need to be real particular on your whip finish here because you're going to cover it. Now, if you get a little trick here, if you get the glue on, or sorry, if you get your thread wraps too heavy, take a pair of pliers and you can crush that down and flatten it out. That'll help fit the helmet on a little bit better. Alright, so I got the helmet where I want it there. Now I'm just going to take and put a little bit of super glue. I like to put it the whole way around this thread head here. Alright, get a nice wrap of super glue there. And then we're going to slide this helmet on. Oops. It's a slippery little helmet. I'm going to use my rotary vise there to ride that glue around the hook a little bit. Oops. Didn't get that in there tight. Okay. So I'm going to push that on, make sure it goes where I want it. Hold it in place for a second for it to dry. And then I'm going to come right in behind that eye, and I'm just going to make a couple wraps to build up and fill that gap in between the eye and the helmet, just to secure that helmet, keep it from coming off. And then we're going to whip finish it. Making sure I don't crowd the eye, leave myself a hole there to tie my line through later on. And in a second here, I'm going to come back and hit that with some glue. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the eyes on. For the eyes, I'm just going to take and put a little dab of super glue in each hole. And then, oops, carefully pop these little eyes off of the plastic sheet there. Slide it into that hole. And what I like to do is I like to slide them into that hole, take the butt of my whip finisher and kind of press them in there then, just to secure it a little bit better. And by doing it that way, I don't get super glue on my fingers. And then the last thing I do when I do these is I take a little bit of Solares Bone Dry and I cover the eye up on both sides. And then I'll also hit my thread wraps around that I use to secure the head to the eye of the hook. So just get that all covered up, hit it with your light to secure everything in place. And you're all done with the Skulpin Bunny. Very simple way to tie it. I like tying this pattern this way, using the crosscut, not putting anything extra, and it fishes well. So check out the new Skulpin Bunny kit at the shop. Alright guys, I hope you liked that fly. It was a pretty simple tie with this kit. And you know, you can whip these things out pretty quick. For having a streamer, you know, streamers usually a lot of times take a lot of time. This is a simple one, and I have caught fish on this. Muddy water pattern especially. It's something that's going to push water out of the way, disrupt the water, you know, hit that lateral line on the fish and get them to strike it. So it's a great pattern for muddy water, for moving water underneath. You know, I like, if it's really muddy, then I'm throwing a big headbanger, but a little bit of stain or something like that, this is one of my go-to streamer patterns if I want to throw a streamer. Also would work great for smallmouth. You know, if you're like me, you'd like to get out in the summertime and make some casts for smallmouth, this is a good pattern to swing. So give it a try for that. We just started carrying this in the shop. We got it up on the website and listed. So if you want to grab a pack, they're there on the website. Thanks for all the purchases that you've made over the years from us here. We've been in business for about 10 years now, and we're really thankful for all your support and everything you've done. So guys, if you're interested in this, like I said, go to our website, holsingersflyshop.com. If you have any questions, as always, reach out to me at holsingersflyshop@gmail.com. That goes directly to me, and you can I'll answer any of your questions you have. Thanks for watching. Until next week, I'm Sean Holsinger.